Welcome to the Active Trader Setups Tutoring Reference Series, where we'll be reviewing charts and exactly tutoring you on how to set those charts up from scratch, what the indicators are on each chart template that's shown over on our Trader Members site under Products. So you go to tradermembers.com, click on the Products tab, and we have the page set up for our members, as well as it's open to the public if you want to learn more about our charts. We have each chart outlined, each template. We have a different section for the futures charts, and we're taking each chart one at a time and showing all the indicators that are on the chart, telling a little bit about what they tell you, showing you where the scanners are located to scan for the inflection points that are shown on these charts, as well as at the very end of each of these reference tutoring videos, we will have a step-by-step instruction of how to create this chart from scratch with a new chart, starting with the data series and then loading the template. That'll be in about the last 5 minutes of each of these videos. That'll be shown right above the chart template on the page, and this will be the name of the video on the YouTube site that's shown right below the chart template on the page. So it's Products page at tradermembers.com. That's open to the public as well. So you want to remember this if you're having to reconstruct a chart, or you want to place a chart into a workspace you already have open. You don't have that chart there and you need to build it because you want to start using it in your workspace that you've already got created. You'll go over, find this video, just fast forward over the last 5 minutes, and it'll show you how to create each chart from scratch. And be sure to watch on our YouTube channel. We got the Active Trader Setups Trading Setup Series that's coming out 3 and 4 times a week, where we're reviewing actual charts from the day, that's using the chart and the indicator setups that are on that chart to use practical application of the indicators on the charts, how you're going to read them and how you're going to react and trade to them. That's an ongoing series for our clients to learn from, as well as our guests to learn more about our trading package. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and be watching for that series multiple times a week. This video is brought to you by Active Trader Setups Trading Package, a day trader setups company. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel while you're here, and go over to daytradersetups.com. You can find out more about our package under our features area, our registration area, as well as our education and training. We have a YouTube channel page that has links to various videos as well. And then you can go over to our members site. It's called tradermembers.com. Go to the products page, and we have a full listing of reference materials for our traders to access, but this page is open to the public. It goes over each of the charts and what they have on them, the indicators, the indications, how to scan for those, and so forth. Chart template name: Stocks Intraday Trend Cloud. This is a day trader favorite. I don't want you to confuse this cloud with the next cloud. There's 2 separate videos. They look just alike. Key difference, only difference, is the inflection points. This is a day inflection point on the ATS inflections running off the daily cloud. That's what we call a stocks multi-day cloud. You can change the ATS wick on it to the smaller wick and catch the quicker bounce off these levels, but it's different plots than this chart that we're looking at right this moment. the intraday ATS inflection points. This is the faster paced cloud on both these charts I was just speaking about. We call this stocks intraday trend cloud with intraday ATS inflection points. It's a faster paced cloud. It's not a biggest support to just kind of give you the read on what's going on for day trading. You could also use this chart on a lower ATR chart to give you an idea on possibly a 2 and 3 day swing trade. You can modify the wick size and leave the plots exactly the same. Do not modify the 120 minute. There's two data series on here. This one's a ATS Wick Algo with a 25 brick and 120 minute chart running the intra-session inflection points. So we got the ATS inflection point indicator, 120 minute input. We have the cloud running off the ATS Wick bar, faster paced. Have the Force 1 alert. We've talked about this in some other videos. I trade this a lot as a tool to help with this other trade on reversals. And then we have the visual plot for the higher higher volume bars, and we have the volume up and down. We're going to review exactly how this volume bar works again in this video. And we are viewing these charts on tradermembers.com, the product stock chart pages. Okay, this is the actual chart, and again it looks just like the one that's labeled stocks multi-day cloud. The cloud is exactly the same plot, but you see the inflection points are not as many because this is running off a daily plot rather than a 120 minute. Most recent day, and when you're reviewing your charts, this is for the clients, and you've got a blue line still on this chart. That was the last day. That's going to become this thick white line the next session. This is 2 sessions ago. It'll shift down to here. This is 3 sessions ago. It'll shift up to here and take the place of 2 sessions ago, and then this will be replaced by a golden line. The golden lines go back a total 10 days. So the chart at hand is more recent intra-session inflection points. These are running off of 2 hours. So what happens on a daily chart? Intraday, as we get started here, this is right where we start at. You see the blue line here was the last 2 hour session. When we switch over to the next day, that's going to become our thick white line for the new day. Now, this is the beginning of the morning. If these are plotting every 2 hours, so let's look at a 2 hour chart. It's a 120 minute chart. I'm going to change it to RTN, match our other chart. I think it would have been easier to explain there on the STZ, though. I'm going to go back. In our data box to the right, it gives you the time that the bar closed, okay? So this is the last bar of the previous day. Says it closed at the time right here, 1600. This says closes at 11:30. So this bar ran from 9:30 when the session opened to 11:30. The next one run from 11:30 to 2:30. I mean to 1:30. And then the last one ran to 3:30. This is not what we want. So we change this. Going into the data series, it's set to break at end of day. We're going to say don't break at end of day. And now look what your 2 hour charts do. This bar closes at 10 a.m. This one closes at noon. This one closes at 2. This one closes at 4. So this is how we're feeding our data in. So our first plot is plotted from 9:30 to 10. Our next plot from 10 to 12, 12 to 2, 2 to 4.
So on this chart, these lines, if this was, we're going to back up one notch. This blue line is representing what's about to be tomorrow. So from 2 to 4, we created this inflection point. The one prior to that was the white dash line, which is thick. It's right behind here. It was created from 12 to 2. This bar, 3 bars back, it was created from, 2 bars back. This was created from 10 to 12. And this is the 3 bars back. And since this hasn't switched yet, it's actually this is representing what was created from 9:30 a.m. to 10. So now when we shift into the next day, this was the last 2 hours of the previous session. This is going to remain on the chart and change from this print until the to this other smaller dash in first 30 minutes. So we start our day out. This was the last 2 hours of the previous day. We got that for 30 minutes. The other line, which is hidden in here somewhere, it's right here, was from 12 to 2 the previous day. This one was from 10 to 12 the previous day, and then one of these orange lines was the first 30 minutes. So watch what happens here. We're going to move over. Let's see where we're at right here. We're just at 9:30 so far. So we're shifting in the early morning hours of yesterday, the middle of the day, and then the last 2 hours. Still moving forward. I want to get to 10 o'clock. Now we're at 9:51 when this bar closed. We've now pulled back to our inflection point that we created yesterday morning, the previous day between 10 and 12. This was the latter part of the day. This was the middle of the day. Now this is about to twist up here, so this could very likely just continue down, or it can bounce here slightly and then head down again. Let's see what it did. It kept going. Now we've got the complete twist here. We're almost to the inflection, the white one we can barely see underneath here. It's in this box over here. It's the second level down, second white inflection. Says 179.10. So this is 180, this one, so it's one more bar down. We continue, let's see what happens. I want to get, okay, we just got to 10 o'clock. So this bar is closing at 9:58. Now, we've gotten to 10:02. Went from 9:58 to, we're still at 9:58, but we're actually at 10:02. I'm just not getting it right, exactly right. This bar closed at 10:02. Our line shifted. So now, instead of being one bar ago, this was the latest bar in the end of the day before. At 10 o'clock, the color shifts, becomes 2 bars ago, and this becomes the current day first 30-minute inflection point. Now this is starting to calculate the next 2 hours. And we continue on. We got a reversal off of one of the previous inflections. Now think about this. These inflection points, if these are the white ones are the most recent 6 hours, then these are going back beyond this session to the previous session. So these are giving you inflection points going back about 48 hours total. So you can see one of those was held, the lower one, not going all the way to the last part of the day, gave you the reversal, and we were pretty deep into this cloud. We expect some kind of reversal. Wouldn't surprise me to see it go all the way to the cloud level, but it may very well reverse right here off the first half hour's inflection point that we created at 10 o'clock. We're now at 10:05. We made it through. We're still headed up. Now we've gotten all the way to the actual cloud. Can it break through this cloud? Absolutely. This is thin. It can just go right on through. By it being thick over here, my expectation is more for it to reverse. I have no idea. I hadn't looked at this yet while I'm making this video. I know you don't believe that. Here's your line in the box. Yellow dotted line, span B, 181.27. The high of this bar is 181.26. Keeps going a little further. It does create a little wick here, though. So instead of having these nice bars all the way up on this bounce, there's not a single bar with a wick in the bottom. That means if your trailing stop is running on the current bar level, it never was any danger of stopping out. So this is an assertive move all the way back up from 180 to where we are now, 180.21. You got a solid $1.25 per share there. But you can see when we did get right here, at the high of this bar is when this bar was created. So 1 penny off this yellow dotted line, and we did get some movement. If you went and dissected this 10:15 area, this closed at 10:15, this closed at 10:07, 10:08. So if you went and looked at the chart, this is on June the 21st. If you looked at the chart between 10:08 and 10:15, you probably saw some red 1 minute bars, 3 minute bars, a little congestion here because this pulled back from this high of this bar of 180.26. The low is 181.20. I might have that wrong. Make sure I got it right. The high 181.26. The low 180.91. I knew that sounded like too much, but that's still 30 cents. It gyrated. If you'd have had a current bar stop, it would have stopped you out. If you want to try to stay into a reversal bar, then you're not running a current bar, you're running the bar back here. And we run that at about 6 cents off the low of that bar to stop out. So you're still continuing up, but you see you got the wick, which indicates you had some resistance. That's what this level was. Let's see what continues here, what happens. Continues up a whole nother bar, continues all the way through the cloud. So that's a great example of a thin cloud is not much resistance. Could have just as easily reversed here. And if we want to take a reversal right here, then you would set your reversal candle to take the reversal. If it didn't, you wouldn't. Now, if you'd have took a really quick reversal on a 10 chart, you'd have got a little pullback in your favor, about 30 cents, and probably would have stopped out for about a break even. If you wanted to try it early, if you want to wait on the big bar, then you're not going to get taken into a trade to way down here. Continues on up. This force is really strong through here, never fluctuated, and it gained volume as it went along as well once it broke through here. Once it cleared the cloud, also look at what else is going on right in this area. Your lag line is clearing these candles, and you're clearing the cloud. Let's see how far this goes. Keeps going, unbelievably strong. Now, there's other charts can help you read the strength of this move. Now, remember, you could be trading this chart on a lower ATR stock, and this could be taking multiple days to take place. In this case, it's an intraday trade, and the chart I'm about to show you is what I use. That chart you're looking at is one of my favorite charts. This is my accompanying chart. This is at 10:06 move. This is at about 10:04 when we're coming up through the cloud. You can put all this stuff on one chart if you can stand that much noise. once you get used to it and you're trading it, it doesn't really bother you. Here's what's happening right here at 10:14 at 181.22. We're way up here. You're right there at this key level. What's going to happen? 181.22. This is crossing our trend shift pivot line, and right here on this bar at 10:14, that's trying to see if I can get the one with a wick on it for you. Let me back up. It's that bar right there. It's the bar we were discussing. It closed at 10:15. Look what's happening. It's crossing our trend shift pivot line that's being plotted off the bigger trend. We got two sets of bands. This band is our standard being plotted off the STSAlgo 25, as well as the trend shift pivot zone. The other set of bands is being plotted off the algo wick. So you're getting a shorter view, a quicker view of momentum. Once we've been teaching, when the yellow turns blue, and especially if they both go blue together, that lower band, as long as it's pushing away, and the harder it pushes away, the bigger the up move. So when you got right here, this is exactly when this turned blue at the close of this bar. It gained momentum. Well, it just cleared this level that it fought at for 20 minutes. It gained momentum. The lower band on the plot created by these green bars pushed away, showing acceleration, and the harder it pushes, the stronger it is. Now, by the time you get up to this level, this is at 182.17 at 10:50 in the morning. Down here we were at 10:15. 182.17. You're way up here at 10:56. That's when the other set of bands, the red went to green, the other set of bands simultaneously, when they do it simultaneously, that's a stronger signal. You got them both to go yellow to blue, and this started pushing away, which indicated still gaining momentum. Now, this one here, you're blue on the lower or the reverse side of where your candles are. If your candles are going up, it's the band on the opposite side. If they're going down, it's the band on the upper side. The harder that pushes in the initial few bars of it changing color indicates the momentum that you're gaining to the bottom side. The more you can bow this up, the stronger this is going to push to the downside. So here, the more this bowed down, the stronger it's going to push to the downside. Now this bar took over. The stronger it pushes down, the more the momentum is to the upside. And you can see this kept running. It ran all the way to a little after 11. So these are my two favorite charts. I like to have my momentum bands telling me things, and you can lay those bands over this chart for the smaller, not the bigger, because we don't have the STSAlgo on this chart, but you can lay this smaller set of bands on this chart here to monitor this. And you simply do that by going to your indicators, go into the folder here, and you'll find the Power Momo chart. Add that to the chart. Make sure it's on the Algo Wick bar, and you apply it. Let it load, and there's that band. So as you were right here, it turned blue. Actually, the bar before the wick bar. So this can give you an idea of, hey, I want to try to stay in this trade. Now, you can change these to dash lines if you wish to. I probably would, because that way you keep consistency, and that can be done simply by modifying the indicator on the chart right here into the lines. You can't change the colors, but you can change it to a dash line. Very simply, you can increase the size. My eyes are always bad, so I like them to go up a level. If you want them to kind of fade into the background, I think I did this. There we go. Now we got it as a dash line. Same thing here. When this is selling off, this gives you an idea. This push is telling you that this is going to push to the downside. As long as it's accelerating up in those first few bars, it's giving you a measurement of momentum that's building. Also, you got your force alert max to the bottom side, and you can see how it stayed there all the way down, and then this great big run up here. So I want to be looking at this. I try not to crowd you guys up, but I also want to give you all the tools I can give you. Now, you can't place the bigger band because you don't have the STSAlgo plot on this chart. You can also add your chart trader. Now, scanning this is the next part of the plan. You cannot scan these intra-session bars. You can watch them and use them as tools. You need to be scanning something else, but you can already have your charts picked out that you're watching, but you can't scan the intra-session ATS inflection points. On the other indicators you have down here, I have an auto trade that can be set up for reversal that takes from red to green in the first, either this bar or this bar. Sometimes it takes to this bar. I don't have the auto trade here, only if it's absolutely assertively a reversal. But if you're watching this trade in maybe to this white line, you can load that symbol in and it will take that trade without keeping this chart open. But it'll only take the trade if it automatically flips the from red on the force to green on the force right here. First two bars. If it doesn't, it won't put you in the trade. Another way you can set up for an instant trade is a reversal bar closed with a 10-bar high volume. Those are your two choices for instant trades, and you're not even subscribed to the auto trade version, and I'll show you where you find those at. Now, first of all, you absolutely do not want to load up a big watch list on this. It has some safety features based on the spread. Let's say you see this reversal, and you had it loaded and it didn't put you in a trade. It's checking the spread, and if the spread is greater than 17 cents and you can modify that, it won't allow that trade to take place. Because a lot of times early in the morning you get some big spreads, and you don't want to get in a trade with a 40-cent spread, because when they pull the bid out from under, it's going to be 80. And then you're going to get huge slippage. Well, I had a stop right here. It don't matter if it didn't trade to down here. So you got to be really careful with this. You don't want to load it up early, but you can use this, especially if you're limited on space. Say, well, I want to take this trade if it reverses. But you got to remember, you put it in here, no matter when it reverses, it's going to take that trade. So you got the instant long that'll take it. On the reversal trade, there's several different alerts in here. Choose the one that you want to set. You can turn on what's on and what's not on. You can do it with the volume, without the volume. And it's only in the first flip. It has to take place right here or right here. And you can say it has to have volume. Now, the other one is the instant long reversal, long or short. They're two different columns, because you don't want to have long and short trades happening from the same columns. You get very confused there. You don't want to do that. That's why I separated them. This is an instant long blue diamond. 10, 25, 50 are all in here. So it's set up for whatever size candles you're trading on. You got a 10 without volume. You got a 10 with volume. 25 without volume. 25 with volume. And that's the one I have enabled. And the others are not enabled. And they actually have orders down here at the bottom to play an alert, because you definitely want to know when something went on, and submit an order. Now, you can run this in your sim account, and that can be your alert system. You don't have to be near as careful if you're running in your alert system, but if you actually got this linked to your trading account, it's going to send an order to buy at market set for 100 shares, and it has a stop attached to it, and the stop is part of an ATM strategy that we have preloaded in the system for you, and it just has a stop loss and a profit target. It throws out with the order, and then you can adjust it. It's not trailing or anything, but it gives you a stop. We don't want to take no trades without some kind of stop. Now, you put a symbol in here. This one is set for the reversal candle. And if it's set for the reversal candle with volume, it will only take it if it's with volume. So, what's with volume? That's this candle reversal. That's a blue diamond reversal. And if it don't have a 10 bar high volume right here, it won't take the trade. It's set when this closes, so it's instantly right here. It checks a bar back to see if it plotted that alert on a 10 bar high volume, and it also knows that it made a blue diamond reversal that was plotted when this bar closed and this one opened. Then it checks the spread, and it also checks to make sure you don't have a position before to send that order out. If it didn't check to see if you didn't have a position, then it could sit right here and jerk back and forth and put you in the trade over and over and over and over again. You do not want to play with this until you test it in sim trading. If you got this NinjaTrader connected directly to your trading account, you need to make sure you 100% understand what's going on before you play with these instant entries, and do not load symbol list in here. You could have trades go off when something stupid got tweeted. The market starts gyrating all around, stocks jerking up and down. You know, they can have a 40 spread and in a split second have a 10 cent, throw you in a trade, and then go right back to a 40 spread. If these algorithms get a hold of the market, you could take a huge loss on multiple trades. You do not want to do that. Make sure you understand what's going on with this before you even think about trying it. Now, the other way to scan this is get over on our daily, and that's going to be the next video on going down the list in the charts. You've got, now you could scan this reversal by taking this, and there's scanners for the instant reversal, but you'll get a lot of those with the high volume. To scan just reversals in general, you go to this group of market analyzers that has the BAlgo at the first, and you go over here, find 25 blue diamond reversals. It has longs and shorts, but it has the up volume. This is strictly alerts, has the force in it, has the blue diamonds in it, and you can go in here and create alerts from this. They're pre-built. You can get a long alert on the bounce, set to the 25 brick chart. It's just a blue diamond reversal on the chart, period. Here's one with a blue diamond and volume. So that would give you that alert when that took place. There's no pattern recognition. It could happen on any candle. It could be chopping around and give you that signal. And then a pre-alert shows you the bar forming to make the wicks. Hadn't reversed yet. So you can intra bar, and I'm going to have to get to where I can show you the, let me cancel that for a moment. Intra bar, as this bar starts forming wicks out both ends, so that's a pre signal till it can't reverse till it at least puts a wick out the top, because it starts out looking just like this. So intra bar, as this starts to reverse a little bit. Once you get the wick and you get it above this right here, it will set that alert off. If the volume has already created a 10 bar high intra bar, that's how that alert works. So that will give you a pre-alert. We got a pre-alert bar forming long with volume. So as soon as you get that wick in that bar, you can, and the volume both accompanying it, you may find it, it can switch to a new bar and move 2 bars before you can even get to the alert. But if it's just still intra bar, it could sit there for 10 or 15 minutes. So that's a good alert to run. And then the force wick is the bar reversing on the blue diamond, and the force 1 crossed above 999. That is 1. It equals 1. And you can do that with volume as well. So if this bar is at the 1, blue diamond's true, and you had volume, you would get the alert there too. So that's one of the alerts you can use on almost any chart with this pattern, this candle bar selected. Doesn't send orders, it just sends alerts. So those are your 2 sets of alerts here. We're going to see how to load this chart. Okay, the first thing we got to learn is how to load the chart. I'm going to go ahead and slide this over. You can see that this reversed up here after that big run, and nothing in particular that it ran into. Before we create the new chart from the template, I want to also show you what this was bouncing off of. Right off the daily. This was on the chart beginning of the day. Right there. This was previous day's inflection point, 2 days ago inflection point. And it stayed there all day long. And when it got here, came right off of that level. 179.64. The low was 179.61. So the ATS inflection point, 3 cents off the low. That's a high probability trade anytime you come into any of these whites on the daily inflection. This is my chart. This is where I want to be trading from. The cloud's the same. The candles are the same. The reversal was the same. Everything was the same except for the inflection point plots. So we didn't just bounce off of 2 days ago. This was going back, remember, 24 to 48 hours. It happened to line up right here within 3 cents. If this can't help your trading, then I don't have anything else I know to do to help anybody. This is an awesome charting and trading package. Going to reload this template. We got 2 items on it. The Algo wick set to 25, the 120 minute loaded, and remember when we looked at our 2 hour before, no break in today. That's key on this. Very, very key. And we don't have any candles plotting on the 2 hour. We don't need to see them. We just need to create our intersections. So we go in a new chart in our control center. We pick a symbol. I'll pick PKG, this one. The first one we're going to load is our STS Algo. We're running it on a 25 brick. We're running bars. I forgot to look, so I'm going to go back and look because we don't have to have 600 bars because this is not the same cloud. I'm going to look at how many bars. I may have 600 on this, but it's not required. It is at 600. This could probably be plotted at 400 bars, which should be fine on this. But you can leave them 600. But if you're having data problems and your computer's slow, that's the kind of little tweak you could do. I'm going to go back to stay with my 600. So I got chart, PKG, ATS wick, because I selected a minute ago, 25, bars 600, regular trading hours, no end-of-day break, standard candle, no plot. I forgot to do the 2 hour, so it'll load up here. If you tried to load this template, it would not load because it'll tell you got to have 2 data series. We're going back to data series. We're going to add another PKG. This one's going to be 120 minutes. So minute, 120, days, 20 days is fine. Regular trading hours, no end of day break. And we don't want any candles. So we're going to use our STSAlgo. Keep that from plotting. We don't want a new panel. We want it on panel 1 with the other one. And we do not want to plot. Down here, apply. Now we've got 2 candles being plotted. Right click, templates, load. And remember, we're working on our stock intraday trend cloud. So we're going to go stocks, intraday, trend cloud, load the template. And they are reloaded, ready to go with your inflection points off the 120 period. Thanks for watching our videos. I hope you learned a lot on this one. This video is brought to you by Active Trader Setups Tutoring Reference Series, where we're dissecting the components of each chart and all the indicators that are shown on the charts and how to read them and what they're intended to inform you about. Be sure to watch the complete series on any other chart templates you need information on, and as well as be sure to tune in to our trading and training series, where we'll be looking at real-time setups on the charts as they progress through the day, and you start to learn to recognize how you're applying all these indicators to your trading. We're taking the charts and the indicators and learning how they apply to real-time trading and reading the charts. That's the trading and training series. We're putting that out 2 to 3 times a week during the week. And then also on the weekends, we're going to have a weekend chart talk video that goes into many more charts that showed up throughout the week, and mainly concentrating on the cloud setups and the ATS inflection charts. Thanks again for watching our video. Learn more about our trading package at activetradersetups.com.